it's Kingston J.L. Michaels from Kingston Expressions. On September 6, 2019, my blog celebrated 4 years of being up and running. And, you know, we've had ebbs and flows, but, you know, hopefully all the creativity will just continue to flow. So happy birthday to Kingston Expressions. You have meant more to me than almost anything I've ever done in my entire academic career. You've unleashed a side of me that sometimes I keep hidden from folks, and I can just be very raw and say how I feel. So I'm very grateful for my blog. I'm also grateful for now doing videos and, you know, branching out. And I'm not sure what the ending goal is, but I have a lot of great ideas for myself, for my blog, and I'm just waiting for God to lead the way. With that being said, I am resuming No Makeup Sundays. There wasn't one last week because I was in Las Vegas partying, day parties and night parties, but I did drop 3 videos while I was in Vegas, during the week. So sorry that there was no Makeup Sunday last Sunday. But this Sunday, we're in for a doozy, and I'm gonna try to do this blog without cursing, but I'm so passionate about it, I may drop an F-bomb here or there, but I'm trying to refrain from cursing so that the moms, the women, the wives, everyone out there can kind of share this and let me know how they really feel about it, right? So there's been an ongoing theme, and you know, I'm trying to prepare my sister. She's 26 now. So I'm trying to prepare her for what 30s are like for a woman, especially if you're not married or especially if you don't have children yet. That society puts all these pressures on women, and that you're gonna get asked a bunch of inappropriate questions all the time. Caught myself. Anyway, I'm gonna talk a little bit about motherhood, fertility, certain obstacles, things that motherhood takes away from a woman. So I already know right now that you moms that are watching are probably so angry. So I'm 38 right now. I do not have any kids. I'm not married. I'm a bachelorette. My entire life, I mean, even when I was in grade school, I had no plans of getting married, no plans of having children. I have one exception out there, and he knows who he is. The X Factor knows who he is. And that's really my own exception, because to me, motherhood is such a big job. I would only want to take it on if I knew I had a partner that I could take it on with. And so I want to preface this by saying this is not attacking single moms. I know that for most of you are not single moms by choice. And even if you are, this is not attacking your choice. This is simply giving another viewpoint that I feel like is sometimes left out in the discussion of women having children, and especially when you get into your 30s and you don't have children, and also the things that motherhood takes away from a woman, because it does take away certain things in society's eyes. First thing I want to touch upon is I noticed once I got into my 30s, everyone, even people that grew up with me, even people who knew me in grade school, are always asking me, when am I going to have a baby? Some of y'all been knowing me since I was in the single digits, okay? I made this decision a long time ago when I was 5, okay? 5. And I get it, some people don't know themselves that well, but this is one of the areas that I feel I know myself very well in. And so I hate when people say don't wait too long, or that baby alone is gonna be enough happiness for you, and all this other stuff. And I know that people mean well, but let's get one thing straight. Y'all should not be out there asking a woman, married or single, when is she gonna have a baby? It's none of, you know what? We're gonna drop some F-bombs. It's none of your fucking business. It is none of your fucking business. And it's actually a rude ass question. I don't even care if you mean it well. That woman could be going through fertility issues. Her and her husband could have been trying. They could have decided that they financially don't have the money for children. It's none of your issues. Get yourself out of our ovaries. Get yourself out of our bedrooms and mind your fucking business. That's first and foremost. So I don't like getting asked that question at all. You understand what I'm saying? But when I do, I have an answer for people. So then there's always the people that are like, oh, you're going to change your mind. I'm 38 now. Yeah. Okay, maybe my clock's gonna ring at 50, okay? Maybe 50. But I keep saying that my biological clock is under some Mack truck on I-95, and it's been rolled over several times. Now, Auntie Kingston loves the kids. If you are a parent of one of my nieces and nephews, especially my nieces, I'm super duper close to my nieces. Shout out to JL. Auntie loves you, because I know you're most likely the one to kind of maybe see the shout out of all my nieces and nephews. It's not that Auntie doesn't love the rest of y'all, but JL calls and videos like the most, okay? So she gets a shout out. So if you're a parent of one of my nieces or nephews, you know how much I love your children. And if I can't be like there present, I try to be there in some sort of way. You know what I mean? So it's not that I don't love children. I have many years of child rearing experience with kids of multiple ages. So the interesting thing is when you grow up helping to raise children in your family, you get a small preview of how, sometimes a large preview, of how much work children are. So I didn't grow up with the fantasy that the baby's supposed to give me something. Let me tell y'all, for those that y'all don't know, children don't give shit. Their job is to take. You brought them in this world. Their job is to take. If you get extra love, if you get extra support, if they grow up to be amazing human beings, that's all the bonus. But the plan is not to have them so that they can bring you happiness. The plan is not to have them so that you can have a retirement plan and you can live off of them. That is not the motherfucking plan. Okay, so for those of you who didn't know that, children don't give shit. They take. They take. So if you didn't know, that's what they do. And even when you're on the other side of this earth, okay, and the good Lord has called you home, your children will still take. Okay? They will still take. And I know this because I'm a grown-up big kid and my daddy just dropped off, a couple cases of water and ginger ales for me because Kingston don't be keeping nothing up in her fridge except the stuff that Jesus, gave a yes to, which is water and wine. I need a little ginger ale because sometimes I get that nausea. And daddy surprised me and dropped that stuff off for me, knowing that I need that stuff, right? And I'm a grown adult. I'm supposed to be able to get those things. And daddy stopped at Costco and surprised me because he knew his little girl didn't have much in her refrigerator, okay? All right. So children take. So the next issue is not only do you not know what's happening with a woman or what her choices are, even when you hear what her choice is, people tend to challenge it. Oh, you'll change your mind. Oh, I've had people tell me I'm being selfish. How am I being selfish? Having a baby to bring me happiness is kind of selfish. It's assuming that the baby is going to bring me something. If I'm its mother, it's my job to give. That's what my job is, to give. It is not to wait to receive. Okay, so check yourself before you wreck yourself. Another thing that I've noticed is that once women are mothers and wives, like your sexuality goes all the way out the door. You are no longer seen as a sexual being. And shout out to some of my sexy mommies and wives, okay? I am forever telling you guys that you are doing it up. And I'm gonna shout out some of my blogger friends who are sexy mommies and or wives, okay? So I'm gonna give a shout out to Lioness out there, okay? Lioness, you always doing big things. To my sexy mommies and wives, I want to give a shout out to Toy from Toy Time and then Savvy Chic from Savvy Mommies. These are two hot moms out there that are doing big, big, big things. You know what I mean? But generally, society takes away your sexuality. All you're supposed to do is be nurturing. And let me give you an example. I frequent an establishment where, I have associates and I've been going there for about 3 years, whatever. One of the ladies that works at this establishment, we'll call her Tina. She had to stop working there because she got ill and she no longer can work. Last I knew of Tina, she had been with her husband, I think, for more than 14 years. I think by now it's probably like 17 years. And they have 3 children that range from, I think, like the age of 17. And the last one, I think, is like under 5. And she would always ask me, like, when am I getting married? When am I having a family? Because, like, she loves being a wife. She loves being a mom. Like, she talks about it all the time, right? So anyway, Tina had to leave the establishment that I frequent because she's now ill. Well, I didn't notice, but apparently I heard yesterday from several sources that Tina's husband left her a while ago for a younger woman, and he left her with the 3 kids. And so I know like she doesn't really have health insurance. She's not in good health right now. And apparently like her mom is trying to help her out with the children. So he's on to young girls. And Tina is just left raising the family. And by the way, Tina's like in her 40s and she is a beautiful woman, heart and face, okay? Beautiful woman. So she can still find herself somebody else. So I'm talking to someone else at the establishment about what happened to Tina. And I'm really upset because she's such a loving person. And I can't believe that her husband just up and left her at a time that he really needs her. So what I heard from one of the other people was, well, Tina's sick. So, sometimes men just want younger women, especially if you're sick. I'm like, where does that come from, okay? He's still got 3 kids that he need to be taken care of. Then I heard, well, now she could just focus in on raising her children. Tina's probably only in like her early 40s. Is she supposed to be a martyr now? Is she supposed to like just forget that she needs love, affection, and support while raising her children? Now, peep this. I'm not saying that I would be out there bringing men home to meet my children. No. But I'm going to tell you what it is. If my husband of like 17 years or 20 years or whatever up and left me for some young girl, I definitely would be taking care of my children. But I probably would be dating and just never bringing anybody home. Because mommy's still going to need to get her back blown out. Mommy's still going to need to get, her shoulders rubbed. Mommy's still going to need to hear, I love you. And so I definitely understand not bringing around strange men or women around your children. And by the way, this also goes for the single fathers out there. Some of you are bringing around these trifling ass women around your children, forgetting that some women are predators and a lot of them are abusive. I think the best case scenario usually is when two single parents meet and they already understand that they're co-parenting with other parents. And I've seen that work. And then they get married and they have like a blended family. But the whole thing is, the focus is that literally like Tina should just focus on raising her children and that should bring her happiness. I call bullshit. She didn't make those children by herself. She didn't start that family by herself. So why is it that he gets to have a new life, not take care of his responsibilities, and then Tina is just stuck with the children? And then people are telling her, at least you have the children and they're supposed to bring you happiness. The good Lord did not intend us to do everything on our own. He just didn't. For those of you that are biblical and want to be quoting the Bible and stuff or whatever, and marriage vows, both people take them. It's not just the woman that says that. So in sickness and health, what's up with that? But the fact of the matter is, even other women think like Tina just needs to be focused on raising her children. And she's the one that was loyal in her marriage. She's the one that wants her marriage. She's the one that wants her family together. She's the one that was happy being a wife and a mother. Now, I'm not saying there's not more to the story, but it's typical for society to be like, well, the woman should just focus on raising her child. She doesn't need any more love and attention. You know what I mean? And then the man is off like a gigolo, doing whatever the hell he does. By the way, I put into the universe that Tina's husband will have a nice case of erectile dysfunction. Because guess what? You out there with them young girls, you better be able to get it up. And if you can't get it up, then your funds better be good and you better be paying their bills. And if you can't do that, I suppose you're going to be back home soon. Because one thing I know about these old gigolos who want these young girls is there'll be a time you can't wipe your own ass. And guess what? The mistress will put your ass in a home. I've seen it many times with the older generation. It's always the wife, if you married a good wife, that's going to show up and still try to wipe your ass for you, okay? So to Tina's husband, a little erectile dysfunction your way, okay? Sending those vibes straight to you, okay? Because Tina don't deserve this. She's a beautiful woman inside and out. What I don't like is how other women try to like make excuses for the things that the husband did. And once again, there's that theme that at least she has her children. Her children will bring her all the happiness. Well, one of them is like 17. He'll be going off to college soon, okay? What happens when they all go off and live their own lives? Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot live through our children. We cannot expect our children to fill the role of a husband or wife that's missing in our lives. That is twisted. Once again, children's job is to take, not to give. So I wish Tina nothing but the best. I hope the good Lord sends her a man that has like his own kids and he's a single dad, and maybe they can get this blended family thing together. And once again, I'm not saying that single moms should be out there shaking their moneymaker. But if they want to do that, that's their priority, as long as they're taking care of their responsibilities. But no one is saying to the man when he goes off that he should still be taking care of his responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just like, oh, well, the mom needs to focus on raising the kids. Well, it took two. Okay, she didn't go to no sperm donor. It took two. Where is he at? That shit pisses me off. So your sexuality goes out the window. You are only supposed to nurture, and nobody's supposed to nurture you back. That's what motherhood takes from a lot of people. And maybe right now, a lot of you, your husbands are in your lives, so it hasn't happened to you, and I pray it doesn't happen to you, but I'm gonna let you know right now, if it does happen to you, it's a whole nother scenario. And it's different from when your husband passes away. I think people will still treat women a little bit different. It's more so, well, actually, maybe not. Because when the lead singer of Linkin Park passed away, when he committed suicide, his wife now, his widow, is now engaged 2 years later, and people are giving shit to her and saying it's too fast. That woman's been through tragedy. She's been through hell. Okay, Chester ain't here no more. Okay, and they still have 3 children together, plus he has other children. Life has to go on. Love has to go on. And how dare you guys give that woman who went through that tragedy up close and personal shit about finding love again 2 years later and getting engaged. And it's a lot of women judging her. It's too fast. Is she supposed to walk from Mecca and back with a veil over her face for the next 10 years mourning her husband? She started organizations to raise awareness for suicide in his name. She is out there doing what she can to carry on his memory. It doesn't mean she has to carry it to her grave. She's still a young woman. She's in her 40s. So once again, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's more women judging other women than anything else. And that's another thing I have noticed. No matter what you do as a woman, single, married, mother, not married, people gonna judge you. So for those of you who didn't like seeing my ass when I was shaking it up in Vegas, this ass right now, it's plump. You know what I mean? One of these days that thing can drop. You know, the breast could drop. Everything could not be as firm as it is right now. And I'm enjoying all the firmness that my body has to offer. So yeah, you gonna get it. Yeah, you gonna see it. Because I love it, and it's where I am right now in my life. I don't need to cover up just for you. So if you were sitting there and you were judging, I'm over it. You just mad because your ass ain't like mine, okay? Because that's just nice. Moving on. So the things that motherhood takes away. So your sexuality, you're only supposed to be a nurturer. You're always supposed to be doing and giving. You can't be receiving. It's ridiculous. And this happens to women even if their husbands are still with them, and it's just the husband's not around, he's always working. It's just expected that the woman should give. One thing, my household was not perfect, but my mother didn't have to choose between motherhood and her sexuality. She's one of the very few women I know that was able to hold on to her sexuality. Mama Michaels is a stunning, smart, beautiful woman. I mean, she is not perfect, but I was able to see up close and personal my father trying to love her the best he could, and my father actively making a living, plus actively helping to take care of his children. The Michaels are not perfect, so I'm not selling that. No, not selling that. But I grew up in a two-parent home, and I was able to see that, you could have both. You don't have to be the martyr of your family. You can be sexy and vivacious and smart and still be a mom. You can be all those things, and you can't have a husband by your side. The next thing that irks me is that some people sell single motheredness, and that's fine. Like if I was a billionaire and I just felt like I wanted a baby, and I just, would pick a good, and I probably would still call the X Factor up, because he's got kind of the best kind of sperm DNA thing that I would want, for my kids. And still say to him, hey, you remember me? I got $1 billion and I want a baby right now, and you got the genes I'm looking for, okay? Boom. If you want to do that, you can do that. But to sell single motherness and say go ahead and go get yourself pregnant, and at least you're going to have that baby. Y'all sure are putting a lot on the baby. The poor little baby that all it has to do is come into this world and be itself. That should be its only job. Okay? Y'all are putting a whole lot. So when I say that if I go down that journey of being a mother, there must be a father. There must be an active father. People are looking at me and they're like, at least you're going to have that baby. That baby is not enough. I'm going to say it. I know myself well enough that child is not going to be enough. That for a lot of women, motherhood is just not going to be enough. You still love your careers. You still love your husbands. You still need, a sense of family in your life. You don't want to be doing all the hardship by yourself. And girlfriend, that is okay. So the fact that I said, like, I would want to be married if I could be, you know what I mean? Or I'd want to be married shortly after the baby drops if I could be. Because I definitely don't want to have no shotgun wedding where I'm like, 9 months pregnant. I want to be able to wear that thong on my wedding night. You know what I'm saying? And be sexy. So it's interesting what you hear women say to other women all the time. And it's bizarre. So once again, I'm not shooting down being a single mother. To my single mothers out there, I applaud you. I know that this is not what most of you intended. It's not the road that you wanted. I know it would have been nice to have help. I know it would have been nice to have a shoulder to lean on. I know it would have been nice to be able to get breaks more in motherhood. You know what I mean? But I'm not purposely going to put myself out there to have that really difficult job. Just not going to do it. I think you're kind of crazy if you just kind of do it. You know what I mean? Just go out there and be like, well, it don't matter. Especially if you're not financially set or you don't have the family help, then it's really, and I understand that things happen, but I'm saying if you plan it this way, your finances better be on point and you better have that family support because it's not everybody you can leave your baby with. So I'm not shooting down being a single mom. I'm not shooting down when divorces happen. What I'm simply saying is I'm shooting down society limiting women when it comes to being a mother and telling you that you're nothing if you're not a mother and that you're going to change your mind and what this baby's going to do. And I laugh when people tell me this because I actually have child-rearing experience. I didn't have a childhood because I was raising children, okay? And what that let me know is children take a lot of work. And Auntie Kingston loves them. And I do think I would put a lot into motherhood. I really feel it because I think it's a serious job. But I also think fatherhood is a serious job. Where the daddies at? Like I said, where would I be without my dad dropping off those waters and the ginger ales? Kingston would be over here Thursday, okay? Over here doing yoga, about to pass out, and I don't drink faucet water. And since I was a baby, my daddy I got to have that spring water. Shout out to Poland Spring. And once again, I don't get money for endorsing nobody, but that's the water I like. I loves me some Poland Spring. So, and that's a big Northeast water, I think it comes like from Maine or something. But anyway, so I'm going to say this because now I'm over like 22 minutes and thanks to IGTV, this video is going to be like 3 videos. I'm sorry about that. So you may want to catch this on YouTube or one of my Facebooks. I'm literally going to tell you guys right now, for everybody that's been coming at me, a baby is not going to be enough for Kingston, okay? If my millions of degrees in my career is not enough, if I rediscover myself in all my travels and especially my solo travels and then my time with Harmony in Vegas, I'm a very complicated person and I do know myself well. That's why I didn't marry in my 20s. Kingston knew in her 20s being loyal to a man was not on the top of her list like it was getting some degrees, right? In my 20s, being a man's wife was not that big of a deal to me. In my 20s, I didn't really love none of them hoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's really as I came into kind of like end of really 29 when I bumped into the X Factor and then going into my 30s, but I'm still going to say at 38, I would still say I started getting a little bit more serious about how I want to live my personal life, really just like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? I used to think boyfriends came in pairs like shoes. I just really thought you always got to have a backup plan. You don't got to sleep with them both at the same time, but if one is messing up, it's always nice to know that if you break up at 3 o'clock, you'll have a date at 6 p.m. I was living my life like that up until a couple years ago. I'm like, if one person can't fulfill a need, another one can. And I've grown leaps and bounds, but y'all ain't going to punk me into having a baby, okay? You're not going, and even if I do change my mind, it'll be because it's something that we decided to do. And I always say it's a person that would make me want to do it. Do you know why it has to be a person? Because I have to envision that we would be a good team or the best team we could be, that even if we didn't work out, we would do what was best for our children. So it's a person that would make me do it. It is the love of a person, a love of myself. And also, because of how society does it, I have to come to terms that if anything ever happened to him, I've got to carry on, our family. I've got to keep moving. Or if something happened to me, I would have to think that he's in a position to carry on our family as well. So it's a person that would make me do it. So you're not going to pump me in it. You're not going to, be telling me that if I don't have a baby and he wants a baby, he can get a baby from someone else. Like, girlfriend, like, I already know these things. And stuff happens in life. And I'm not saying I wouldn't be heartbroken, but life would move on, and God would give me the grace to continue on and to live my life the best I could. So if you're a mom or wife or both out there, please let me know how you feel about this, because I'm so tired of hearing the when am I gonna have a baby thing, and people always ask me about a baby more so than marriage, which is just crazy to me. And the fact that I said I would like to be married first, I don't know, because I don't know. I've never checked up on my fertility, so I don't know what's going on up in there, So if we on and popping, maybe we would have like 3 kids back to back before we actually got married. I don't know. Or maybe we would just be life partners. Like, I don't know. And I've already expressed, really, if there's no him, I don't really have an interest in entering motherhood, because once again, it is a person. It is a person. So if it doesn't work out and we don't have a family, whatever, or we move on and have families with different people, only the good Lord knows. But y'all ain't gonna be out here punking me and trying to put me in a position to just give a man a baby that didn't ask for a baby, and to make me feel like I'm worth less because I don't have a baby. And once again, I know that some of my friends and family mean well. I had an auntie ask me on 4th of July, when I said I wasn't planning on having children, what about my husband? What if he wants kids? So here's my take on it. I am one of those people that I am a question mark. Like, I'm open, but I'm only open if I love that person that much. If I finally get to a point in life where I just decide to settle, and a lot of women settle, and there's not a particular age group we settle in. Some people just don't want to be alone. If I'm in that place, he's not gonna get a baby. We'll have a couple dogs, a cat, something like that. And I done told the X Factor time and time again, if he waits too long and we're the only 2 on the block that got dogs and everybody else got kids, it's gonna be his fault. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm open, but I don't know what God has in store for us, and I'm not trying to put all that pressure on us. And I'm not gonna let you broads out here bamboozle me into thinking that a baby is the answer to everything. It's not. And if a baby is the answer for some of you, blessed be. That's great. But for some women like myself, it is the whole package of life. It is self-love, self-care. It is the thought of family, but also the thought of me being whole, me still having my solo trips, me still loving a man, still having that man love me. The thought of seeing 2 parents in the house. If I can make that happen, that's the goal right there, baby. That's the goal. So I know I done pissed some of you off. Let me know how you feel. Write on T. Kingston, or, whatever, message me, whatever, and let me know how you feel about this topic. But I'm taking it serious because I'm trying to, protect my sister and prepare her for what the 30s are going to be like. She got about 4 more years, but it's brutal. Bitches ask all kinds of questions they shouldn't be asking. Mind your business. Get out of my uterus and mind your business. Get out of my personal life and mind your business. And even though I blog about it, let it be clear, just because I blog about it, you can have your opinions. But if you call yourself my friend or my family, don't come at me with some of this bullshit. You know what I mean? Read what you read and do what you would do on, if it was a public post. You would read it and you would just keep it moving. Keeps it moving. And that's me. I'm an open book until I'm not, because my reproductive system is just going to be my business. So I'm letting you know where I'm at. I still want to be a sexual being when I'm 60. I still want to be a sexual being if I end up being, some man's wife. I still want to be my own property. You understand what I'm saying? Still want to be my own property. I want to be my own person. And that should never take away from the other things. I can be more than just a wife or mother or both. I am more than that. I will always be more than that. And I'm enough. I am enough. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not expecting a baby to solve everything for me. I just don't believe that is the case. All right, tell me how you feel. This is KJM. It was no makeup Sunday. It was deep. It was so deep I had to lay my edges down. Let me know how you feel. Sound off. And I want to hear from the moms, non-moms, the wives, non-wives. I want to hear from all the women out there. And if some of the men have something to say, some of the fathers or whatever, hit me with how you feel. I'm ready to hear it. All right, I'm out. Ooh, totally forgot I got this thing.